Yeah, baby.
Oh yeah. Hi.
Something on the car just broke. Imagine that.
I'll give you something to fix.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim. I'm coming to you today from my not-so-beautiful 2005 Mercedes-Benz SL500. I'm going for a quick taco, but then after that, yep, we're gonna finally fix the Z4. I really need to clean the windshield on this car. It's kind of dirty. What's cool about this car is the top works, and it's got a big V8. It's going to be the next project, I think, because I'm going to have something. I can't believe the Z4 is going to finally be fixed after 2 years. This car's got some good get up and go. All right. Okay. This car has a bit of a hesitation when you're, let's say, in an intersection and you're going to make a left turn, and when you go to roll on the throttle, it doesn't always respond right away. It's probably something to do with the transmission communication issue. It says that the transmission occasionally sends an unreadable value to the computer or something to that effect. And it will make it so on occasion this car will just spontaneously put itself into neutral while you're driving. That's not good. It could be real troubling if it happens at the wrong moment. Okay, and it just did another weird hesitation. So this car has some issues. As lovely and zippy and fun and luxury as it is, it needs some help. Probably not my brand of help, but that's what it's gonna get. Oh! Holy crap, this car is fast. It's got good brakes too. I'm gonna drive like a knucklehead. Should probably put up the roll bar. Oh wait, the wind bar. Today, I'm finally fixing the Z4. Check out this hose. This is my junkyard hose. I got it from eBay. Thank you, eBay. This is the fitting that's missing from the one in mine. I'll show you more later when I pull the other one out. But this is broken off, and I'm so sure that this is going to be the problem. My Z4 will no longer have a small ghost.
What? I can feel you, look.
You wanna fuck with me? You acting like a first-year fucking thief. I'm acting like a professional.
Yeah, he does into your Nazi box.
I love that stuff, you know, the killing.
And then it has this pretty neat trick. retractable roof closed. It works. It didn't used to. I had to fix it. It has a little thing on the hinge that wears out and bends, and you have to replace it. It's not that hard. It's this thing right here. Let's see. Right here, this part. The original part is not made as strong as this one. It doesn't have like these extra supports here. So what happens is this part starts to bow outwards, and it lets the little worm drive stuff in here skip a tooth, and then you end up with this thing hanging down a little bit, and then the top doesn't work anymore. So a pair of these on eBay or Amazon. I don't think they were that expensive, 20 or 30 bucks maybe. And then it took me, 10 minutes to install it, and then just trying to get these things adjusted right, because the gear is out. So trying to get the gear in the right tooth in the right position so everything is proper before you tighten this up, that's the only real tricky part. But once that was on, hey, it's back in business. And yeah, I haven't put the interior of the trunk lid back on yet. There's also a failure point in these up here. Yeah, it's hard to see. Anyway, inside here there is a part that has a bunch of air lines that go into it, and it's got these little check valves. They're really stupid. They're like little ball bearings, and they get the tiniest little bit of dirt in them, and then they don't seal anymore. So I had to take that thing out and put little droplets of, I just put a little drop of glue on each of the ball bearing things and sealed it up and fixed it. So now the release back there works. It used to be you'd push and you have to wait a really long time for it to finally release the trunk. So old German cars. I acquired that Mercedes kind of by accident, and it really was the kind of deal that I would pretty much advise everyone to run away from. I was watching Craigslist, as I do sometimes, and I was looking for old Porsches. Actually, I was looking for a early water-cooled Porsche, like a 99 or 2000 or something like that. Most people are afraid of those. They've got those bearing issue in the engine. So anyway, I was looking for one of those, or even a turbo version of one of those. I made a lowball offer, and the guy was too smart for me. Or he was doing me a favor because he didn't sell it to me. So anyway, I've been looking for a car kind of like that. Didn't really want Mercedes. My wife always said, "Ooh, I hate Mercedes." So, well, she didn't really say it like that, but so I didn't really want a dumb Mercedes, but I happened to see this thing on Craigslist, and it was a really cheap price for it. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I think the guy was asking. I think he was asking like $5,000 for it, something like that. And he was real sketchy, and all of his responses to me, he responded fairly quickly, but he was kind of sketchy. And then when it came time for him to meet me, to show me the car, he didn't let me arrive anywhere where he wanted to meet somewhere in, a parking lot. It's like, okay. I know some places say that's the safest bet. Okay. So we met in the parking lot. Look at the car. Oh, it was rough. I really wanted to like it. I like black cars. Oh, it was rough. It needed lots of work. So I figured, geez, the car's probably worth, at the time, it was probably worth, in really good shape, and it would have been worth maybe, I don't know, maybe $5,000, $7,000, something like that. It had, 190,000 miles on it. So I kind of rolled my eyes and like, geez, buddy, I don't think so. This thing's got lots of problems. It had a headlight out. The roof didn't work. It just had lots of problems. So I made him the crazy cash. Well, I didn't say cash, but another thing, this guy, his name was not on the title. It was someone else. I believe the registration was outdated by a couple of months, which is expensive in California. It had lots of things going against it. So I made him an offer, well, I'd be foolish not to buy it if you'll take this much for it kind of an offer. And I said to him, you know, I really wanted to love this car, and I just don't. So, and he said, well, you know, make me some kind of offer. And I said, oh, okay. Well, would you take $2,500 for it? And he says, you got cash? I said, yeah. Oh, I forgot to also mention the guy was Russian. And I don't mean he was in a hurry. Oh, boom. Anyway, he said yes. He didn't counter, he did nothing. So I bought the car for a song, and that's why it's okay to play with. Doesn't mean really anything. So it had literally nothing going for it except the low price. That's it. That was enough. Oh, well, I did ask for some advice before I made the decision. Oh, magic 8-ball. If I buy the Mercedes, will it work out well for me? Well, there you have it. So we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that Mercedes. Here we are, back in the evaporative system of the Z4. Sure is nice having this lift. I'm telling you, this car is up way high. It makes it so much easier to get in here and do stuff like this. Just slide around right underneath. I'm sitting on a stool. I can even raise it up a little higher if I wanted to. Okay, so what we have here is, this is my charcoal canister. This is not a 2004, this is a 2005, so this is from a junkyard. And after, you should check out the video called Hollywood Smokeout. It's where I use my homemade smoke machine and pump it into this system, which led me to this hose, which clips up into here, and I got a couple of wisps of smoke coming out here, and I look at this thing and like, what is that? So a lovely viewer sent me a schematic. I checked it out and ordered this. I know, I already showed you this hose earlier. Anyway, this is the end in question, and that's what I have on this side, and this is what it's supposed to be. So I'm going to pull this out. The shape of this tells me that this guy is going to end somewhere over here on the other side of my charcoal canister. Let me check that out. Okay, I can see on my new one here that it's got one of these little squeeze fittings. So when I look up here, I can see a squeeze fitting right there. And I think that's it. So I'm going to release that, and that should make this whole line come right out. Alright, well, I've been trying and I can't really reach. I mean, I can grab it and I can squeeze it back there, but I can't get it to come off. So that means I'm going to have to take off the charcoal canister, which is that nut there and that nut there and that nut there. And then this whole canister should drop down, and then I should be able to get a better grip on that hose fitting back there, which is the one I'm after. Okay, so I've got those off. There we go. So now the charcoal canister is only hanging by its hoses and fittings. And that definitely gets us a better view of that guy back there that we want to undo. All right, that worked out. My new one and my old one. The new one, it says here, came from a 2007 with 169,000 miles, and it was the 3 liters. It says V6, but it can't be right. Anyway, that's what it came out of, and there's our broken end. And you know, I blow through these two, and I could sure smell the gas fumes as soon as I disconnected it. You could smell them when you're sitting under there, but when I very lightly blow through each of them, I guess I can detect a very slight difference in this one that's just wide open, the broken one, and this one. But oh, this has gotta cure the problem. It's gotta. Magic 8 Ball. Is this going to cure the problem in the Z4 and allow it to pass smog in California? Oh, shit. That can't be right. Let me go to a higher authority. Daryl? This is my assistant, Daryl. Let's see what Daryl has to say. Daryl, is this new hose here, is this going to make it so the Z4 can finally get registered in California? It'll pass smog? What do you think? It says... What does it say? My reply says my reply is no. Okay. No. I can't stand it. No, that makes me absolutely positive that this is going to work. Because when there's a consensus like that in the occult, yeah. So, yay, it's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to put everything back together, and maybe we'll have to take it for a road trip, because I have to reset the computer, and then I have to drive it for a couple 100 miles without getting pulled over, and then we get to register it. Yay! Wow. Can't wait. Hey, thanks for watching. No offense, Daryl.